Good day, everyone. Namaste. My name is Kelly, and I will be leading you through chair yoga today. So if you don't have a chair, why don't you go ahead and find one, and I'll just patiently wait here for you to go ahead and find a chair. In the meantime, we'll just talk about what we're going to do today. So we're not going to do anything strenuous. Right? Chair yoga is for all people, really, but people who are usually sitting at desks, this is really good for you. People who would love to do yoga, but they're afraid of balancing, right? Or not balancing, should I say? And it's a real gentle way to have a yoga practice. And yoga is such an important part of my life. So I'd love to be able to share just a little version of chair yoga for you to enjoy. So once you have your chair, you just set it up where you need to and come to the front of your chair and make sure that your feet are flat on the ground. Now, if they're not flat, you can slide a book, couple books, a Scrabble game, anything you may have that will bring your feet up so that your feet are flat. That will just give you more stability. And again, you scooch to the front of your chair. You don't want to be leaning against your chair back unless you absolutely have to. And if so, that's fine. Come all the way back for stability and find that. And you can also alternate between being rested on your chair back and learning to erect the spine without relying on something other than yourself. So let's start. So our feet are flat on the floor, and if you notice, my feet are about hips distance apart, so they're not out here, they're not here. It gives me the most stability. It also activates my quadricep muscles, which really help for you when you're sitting. And then your belly is drawn in, not too much, not too little. So if you're not used to sitting upright, this is going to feel like a lot of work for you. So please honor your body first. And then your shoulders want to be kind of stacked over your hips, meaning they don't want to be forward of the hips. Here's an example of me sitting forward of my hips. An example of me sitting behind, my shoulders behind my hips. Shoulders over the hips when we sit. And our chin is in neutral. An example of my chin not in neutral would be down a little bit or up a little bit, compressing the vertebrae in the back of the neck. And sometimes if we're not mindful, we create these habits over time. And those habits make a little bit more work for the spine. So we want to alleviate some of that work and just teach ourselves to sit a little bit more upright. And what this upright position does also is it really assists the breath. So we have this football shape right below our ribs, which is known as the diaphragm. If we're always sitting, and I'll exaggerate and turn to the side, if we're always sitting like this, the breath is a lot less accessible, right? Because we've just compressed the diaphragm, making the breath more shallow up here. So we find ourselves only breathing from kind of the neck up. In our practice, we want to learn how to breathe using our diaphragm. So let's just bring our hands there first. And let's breathe right into our hands. If you're not used to doing this, it's going to take some focus, some patience. See if you can focus on nothing else. Like it's the most important thing in the world right now is breathing into the diaphragm. Like you're filling up a balloon on the inhale And you're moving the breath out of that balloon on the exhale. Fill up with the inhale and out on the exhale. Now close your eyes. Just focus on that breath. As you do that, I'm going to just tell you a few of the benefits of diaphragmatic breath. First is flooding your body with oxygen. The cells become more alive. The blood is oxygenated. The blood flows more freely through the body. In terms of our well-being, we feel more relaxed when we're deep breathing. That's why we say, I've heard people say, oh, take a deep breath, right? In yoga, we take many, many, many deep breaths. We use that as our practice to calm ourselves. When we're stressed, when we're anxious, when we're feeling low, our breath is a huge pick-me-up. So we use our breath as an elixir. What do I need today? Then I give it to myself through my breath. It messages the mind to relax, especially when we hear our own breathing. So breathe so you can hear it. And I like to use my breath like the wind. It comes in, it clears my mind. And as I exhale, I let go of all the clutter, all the cobwebs, any thoughts that aren't serving me, because we all have those. We all have thoughts that do not serve us. But we have compassion for ourselves and for others, knowing that this is just, part of being alive, having these tendencies. And our yoga really helps lift us up and out of some of these tendencies. Try to allow your eyes to close too, so you're not looking at the screen, feeling a sense or needing to be alert or feeling like you're going to miss something. So when we're quiet and breathing, we're just closing the eyes and going inward. We're not opening them and checking to see if I'm doing something else. So just know that I'll mostly instruct you when it's time to change from a position. So no need to even think about that. We'll move our left hand to our bellies now. Just feel the breath there. And our right hand to our heart. You might feel your heartbeat, something you haven't thought about in a while, something you haven't heard or felt in a while. We want to teach our minds to feel a little bit more connected with our bodies. And yoga is a great vehicle for doing so. We feel things in our bodies when we're in our practice. And now that you're aware of your breath, just try to keep your breath moving as you create each shape that we're going to go through today. And just a reminder, if at any time it feels too much to sit on the edge of your seat, please take care of yourself and slide back. But when you do, bring your bottom as close to the back of the seat as you can, all the way back, so your spine is as vertical as you can get it. We'll take our chins now. We're just going to do some gentle neck rolls. So I'll demonstrate the first pose so you can kind of watch, and then the next, few poses that we do together, you can just be in them without having to look at all. So I just allow my chin to fall toward my chest, and I usually exhale that down. And I roll my right ear toward my right shoulder. I bring it back through the chest and over to the left side. And I just, as I move through, I'm just checking in with my neck. All I'm doing, checking in, I'm finding any stiffness. I'm kind of observing what I'm doing more than directing what I'm doing. See what you discover in your neck here. If something feels particularly stuck, you can always stay a little bit longer, see if it can release. And one last time. And we bring the chin back to neutral. We take our right arm, we wrap it all the way around the top of our head. So our hand kind of comes by. Maybe it finds the ear on the left side of your head. Take a big breath in now. And exhale, tilt your chin and your neck to the right. So toward your bent elbow. You're mirroring me. Let's take some deep breaths here, and then let your left arm hang. That can stretch the sternocleidomastoid. Let that release, and find a spot for your chin to be that gives your neck the best stretch. Again, you're in discovery mode. Come back to center. Release that right arm up towards sky and back down. And then grab hold of underneath the chair, unless you don't feel like you need to. And bring that right arm all the way back up and over. And then bring it back down. We're going to do that 4 times together. Again, the inhale brings it up. The exhale brings it down. Try to allow the breath to last as long as the movement. It might be possible, it might not. Again, you're just observing. How much breath do I have in my lungs? Now release that right hand down. And take your left arm and bring it up and over. Take a big breath in. Exhale, and you're all the way to the left. So leaning your neck, head to the left now. Dropping the right arm down to give the side a nice stretch. Adjusting your chin. Relaxing into it. So try to not perfect anything. Try to not worry about not doing it correctly. Try to relax and come into every pose with that idea in your mind. I want to relax. Back to center. The left arm comes down. We either find the underneath of the chair or not. We float the left arm up. We lean a little bit. So we're not hanging off our chair. Just leaning a little bit. We're stretching. We're pulling out of the left side body. And we're breathing. As we exhale, we just keep letting go. It's like peeling back a layer of an onion. We just keep shedding our skin over and over, letting go of more sensation, letting go of more stress. letting go of holding on, actually. The body holds on really tightly. And it's our job as yogis to understand that and to work with it and to let it go. Coming back to center. Now interlace those hands, fingers kind of fold over one another, and press the backs of the hands forward. Breathe here. And then by really listening to your shoulders, your spine, and the rest of your body, I want you to ever so slowly start to bring your arms up just until your body tells you to stop. It might have already happened. If it happens right here, stay here. If you can move your arms up without any pain, you continue. But you're not looking to be in pain ever in yoga. You're looking to comfortably manage and stretch for 5 deep breaths. If at any time holding the pose for 5 deep breaths doesn't suit you, you take care of yourself and you rest. Very important part of the practice is learning to listen to ourselves, our inner guide, our bodies, and not pushing ourselves past our limits. Very different than how we usually learn things. Bend at the elbows. Use your hands for a pillow now. The back of the head rests there. The sternum lifts up. We lift the ribs off the diaphragm again. We might feel a little bit of tension. Again, not too much, not too little. All that armor in the front body that we create as a way to protect our hearts is now open. Can you stay with that? Can you be with that? Allowing vulnerability. Allowing your body to open, just as a flower may. Bring that all back. And floss the shoulders. So drop the arms and then bring the elbows on the shoulders up, back, and down. Moving those shoulder joints in a nice round circle. The joints love to be lubricated in this way. Just know that you're bringing a lot of health and vitality to those shoulder joints just by moving them around. Reverse direction, again observing. Relaxing your neck, your chin is in neutral, your feet are on the ground. Once you get a sense of the pose, relax into it. And then bring those arms out to the side, like you're pushing the wall away from you on either side of your body. Turn the fingers down, turn the fingers up, down, up. If your arms are not happy, release them down by the sides, turn the fingers up and down, up, never causing again any strain in the body. Could be a little challenging, but nothing feels like it's being pinched or pulled unnecessarily. And release. Give those wrists a nice shake now. And then let that shake come up. Let it go down. Again, you just might be shaking here. Perfectly fine. Just the question is, are you shaking? Good, release. We're gonna do a little wrist stretch. So we're gonna cross our right arm over our left. So our right arm comes out over the left. We turn the palms to face one another. The hands slide, so the wrists are close. The fingers interlace. The elbows bend as the hands come in and they graze your front body. They come up by the chin. Then they very slowly come forward. You're going to feel the stretch in your right wrist now, maybe even the right forearm. Take a few breaths. If it feels like too much, bring your hands closer. Find your stretch. And then relax into it. Just by closing your eyes, you can relax more. There's nothing to be stimulated by in what you see. Just finding yourself in the moment. And then bring those hands the same way. Just retrace that pattern, reverse it. Come out, bend the wrist to the right, straight, and to the left, straight, down. And just pause, inhale, exhale. Your left arm now comes on top of right. The wrists move together. The palms face one another. The fingers interlace. The elbows bend. The hands raise the front body. Come up under chin. Come out to your level. Breathe in and out. Close your eyes and take 4 more breaths. Training your body to connect with your breath. Training your mind to connect with your body. Feeling more whole and complete as a result. Especially if you live in your head. Living in your head can sometimes feel like just staying in one room of the house, which I know we're getting really good at doing. So we want to venture into our body, into our hearts, into our breath. Reverse that pattern, retracing, turning left, center, and right, center, and back. Shake it out. Holding on to our chair now. We may need to sit back. I'm not sure. I can't see everyone. So we're going to float that right leg up and bring it down. You're going to float the left leg up and bring it down. You're doing this at your own pace. You're still breathing. So again, good thing to think about. Inhale, the leg lifts. Exhale, it comes down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. One last time on that left leg. Now we're going to work to hold our right leg up. Maybe it's just for a breath. Maybe it's for 2 breaths. Maybe it's for 5. I'm not sure. But I want you to only do it if it's manageable. So bring that leg up. And if you like, you can point and flex the toes. You feel the top of that foot stretch. You may not have even thought about stretching the top of your foot in a while or ever. Down. And left leg, pointing and flexing. Bring it down. Now let's lift the right heel up. Roll out your right ankle. So you're rolling on the ball of your foot. And reverse it. Place it down and lift your left heel up. Roll it out. Stimulating the ball of that foot, giving it a little massage on the floor as you're also rolling that ankle joint in those circles that we talked about with the shoulders. The ankles like those circles too. So roll it around. Release it. Good. Now let's do a little twist in our chair. Again, if you need to slide back, please do. Cross your right leg over your left. It's a very familiar pose for lots of people, right? We often sit like this. So your right leg is on top, your left hand comes over. You use that forearm, if you can bring your forearm down. If not, you use your hand to grab hold of the leg. You bring your right arm behind you. You can let it come over the back of your chair or just hold the chair. I'm not sure what kind of chair you have. So getting the idea, you're just holding the back of the chair and using it to twist you. Take a big breath in. Then exhale, roll your ribs to your right and take your twist. 5 deep breaths, keeping your chin in neutral. Coming back to center. Release that right leg down. Take a moment and then float your left leg on top. Left leg is on top, so the right hand comes over. We now twist to our left. The left arm comes back. We take a big breath in. We exhale and we twist to our left. Trying to sit up as tall as we can. We're not leaning back or leaning forward. We're mindful of a nice long spine. And come back to center. Relax that leg back down. And then we slide to the backs of our chairs. We rest our hands down. We take an inhale and an exhale. And then we'll move our hands to our hearts. We always start and end with our hands at our hearts in yoga. So with your hands at your heart, just close your eyes. Just notice how you feel. Bring your awareness to your breath. See if you're making a little bit more contact with your breath than you might have normally done throughout your day. Honoring your breath. Remembering to pause and to breathe. Remembering to give our minds a break from overthinking or worrying. Remembering that all we really need to do in our yoga practice is to sit, to breathe, to clear our minds, and to free our bodies from any stress that we've accumulated day to day. I hope you enjoyed your practice today. I thank you for joining me. Namaste.